All right, everybody. So let's go ahead and talk Town Hall. So the Town Hall this Monday was actually pretty good. We had Matt there. We found out some very interesting things. I don't want to bury the lead. So the most interesting thing that I found out is that land will not be requiring summoners. You will be able to stake any 5 cards on a land plot. They could even be 5 identical cards. The only really caveats we kind of found out is summoners might get a bonus. I hope that becomes from might get a bonus to gets a bonus, because it worries me a little bit that long term General Sloans, Quids, Veras, they need somewhere to go. So hopefully they do get a bonus if you decide to use them. We did find out that every single element, we might as well start calling them elements as they are, is going to have bonuses in certain areas and negative effects in certain areas. So I'm not going to want to tell my fire monsters to go work the swampy marshlands. I'm going to want to put them in the mountains. And theoretically, my water team, I'm going to have them go work down by the river or in the marshes. Maybe the marshes is actually for death. We won't know until the actual post comes out. Hopefully, Matt seemed to say maybe in around 2 weeks to 3 weeks, we would be seeing that post, but certainly around the end of the month. And so that was the most exciting thing I think a lot of us heard in the town hall. You wouldn't have to have summoners. That hurts the values of summoners a little bit, but it also keeps summoners from becoming so rare that maybe it would be hurtful to the game. I have to admit, I thought they would go with you had to have a summoner, but the summoner just unlocked the other 4 places as opposed to you needing a leveled up summoner to put the other monsters in place. That's a route they maybe could have went, but that still would have took 150,000 summoner cards off the market in theory. Maybe not that many. Obviously, not every land will be worked, and not every land out there will probably even get surveyed. But still, it would have been a lot of cards disappearing off the market, and maybe there's just not enough summoners to do that. So we'll see what happens with all of that. Now, some of the other things we found out. So Lily Fire came out. That was a big thing they talked about, and they did talk about, they had a little tutorial at the beginning that I hope all of you know how to do something relatively simple when you are doing your battles. You can go to details and you can show your last rewards. This is for my Gold Steve account where we're going to be claiming his season rewards, and you can do the same thing on here to play back your last season rewards. I thought, maybe I'm blind. Details. I should have watched the tutorial better, huh? I'm not seeing the button, but we'll just get back to the town hall recap really quickly. So that was the other big announcement where season rentals were going to come out. I haven't really dug into season rentals. Has anybody else really got into that yet in the chat? Because I don't know if they're going to be that exciting for players. It's an interesting thing. When I look at my account and I rent out cards, during the start of the season, I only get 5,000 DEC or so for my collection. It goes down in value quite a bit as some of the bots go offline to recharge, is what most people think. Then at the end of the season, the bidding gets really, really competitive, and I get around 12,000 DEC a day from the same set of cards. So if I want to rent out, what price do I rent out at? I'm certainly not going to want the low end, but at the beginning of the season, is anybody going to rent out for kind of near the top end? No, the idea is probably try to aim somewhere in the middle. But if I aim somewhere in the middle for the season rental, I have to convince you at the beginning of the season to pay more for my cards because you get them for the whole season. I don't know. Is that going to work for people? Okay, so TDF Frodo says it's working pretty well. Got it, Cimarron. I need to claim them first before I can review them. That makes sense. Yeah, so I'll have to talk about the season rental stuff once I've been able to play around with it a little bit more. Obviously, I have my own cards I own. I don't rent a lot of cards. I've thought about starting to get into renting on my 2 alt accounts where I gifted. I'm scholaring out my 2 old level 4 chaos decks on Nifty, but I was like, maybe I should rent them a couple diamond decks and play. But I've been debating that, back and forth. Yeah, I haven't enabled my cards for season rentals yet, but I'm going to have to play around with it. I think it's something we might have to do more manually than using the rental box on Splex, and that's what I currently use. So we'll know. They went over the ranked challenges again. I did a full video on this, and look, actually 431 people watched it. That's pretty good for me. You know, I'd been going down over here, only 200 on this one, only 168 on this one, but people were interested in this, so that I was pretty excited about that. Basically, the big thing to note is that you don't go down as far as you used to, and if you were a champion player, you're going to get up higher. Like, my rating last season was right around 4,400. I was still in Champion 2. No, actually, it was like 4,600. That would now be Champion 1, which means for a player like me, I used to only be getting into Champion 2. I would get knocked all the way down to Diamond 3. Now instead, I'm going to be making it to Champion 1 and only get knocked back down to Diamond 1, right? So that's a big difference. So starting the season in Diamond 1 instead of Diamond 3 with this new rating system. What that means for an account like mine is I'm going to earn a lot more champion chests in theory. And by a lot more, it really only might be 5 or 10 more because I was already earning between 60 and 70 chests. The chests are hard to earn at that level, but now maybe I earn between 70 and 80, something like that. That's the big change. And all of you should have a similar change to your season chest. You should earn 5, 10, maybe 15 more. Maybe for some people it'll only be 5 because I'm actually improving 2 leagues because they also made it easier for me to get to Champion 1. Where if you're playing somewhere down in here, you're only really improving 1 league with the changes. But if you start your season at like Silver 2, that's much better than starting at Silver 1 because all of your battles will be giving you more rating points. I went over that a lot more depth in my other video, but we'll just go ahead and they had a moment to talk about that. Let's see. It's on tech modernization. They just keep on moving parts of the game onto tech modernization. If you don't really understand what that means, the main thing from tech modernization is that once they finish this off, the game should be fully playable on iPads, on iPhones, on Androids, just by going to the website, and you should be able to play the game the same way you're playing it on a desktop. That is the dream for Splinterlands. They're not trying to make a mobile app. They're trying to make a mobile-ready site where you can go to any device, go to splinterlands.com, log in and play. And that is really the better way for them to go because the app stores can gate you, they can take big percentages, and eventually they can just block you. So if you can just allow people to go to your website on any browser or on any device and play every aspect of your game, that's the right way to have it done. The problem is it does sound like it might take till the end of the year before they can do this. And I know that has to be frustrating to a lot of you, right? It's hard to say because I know that this game, it does have an aspect now that is very, very attractive to players who don't have maybe great computers, can only play on mobile, and it has to be very frustrating that there's this opportunity out there and you can't fully grasp it because the mobile client just isn't that good. And I'm sorry about that for sure. But it is good to see that they're moving ahead. Every page they get onto the new code base is one page closer to a fully mobile ready website. General update: the Steam Engine bridge has been retired, so hopefully you didn't have any more funds on Steam Engine. I had a little bit over there. I went ahead and got those off. And I'm glad I moved over the last bit of my Steam into Hive recently and used that to purchase some stuff within the game. So that was kind of cool. I didn't realize I had 1,000 Steam, so it did pick me up 500 Hive. That was kind of a nice little thing. I've already spent it all on DECB and vouchers and cards. Yeah, Jabby. Tech modernization is pretty crazy. And then they added a new API endpoint. So more API endpoints that are specified for more tasks will create a better chance for them to not have the APIs get overloaded. So if they create special ones for certain kind of servers like the market bots and the other kind of bots and tell them to talk to that API, then it helps maybe keep the regular gameplay API from getting overloaded, which is good. And theoretically, they could require some of the other people to maybe pay to use the API to get market data and stuff like that. Maybe work out some kind of deal that could be another form of revenue for them. I don't know. Not every API in the world is just free and open to get into. So You don't know. They had like a couple little fixes that they added into the game. Nothing that was really crazy, but they listed them here. If you're really interested, I'll have a link to the post so you can review them. We did get a good kind of talk from PG, the CTO, just reminding you that while the team did cut back on staff, really a lot of the staff that they removed was not their dev talent, and they've really organized themselves into a much agile team. I kind of talked about this in the past. What that really means is that a lot more people, a lot less people, while it might seem like, are at the company. They're still turning out code very fast. They're adding a lot of big updates to the game, and that was something that was really, really exciting. Now, I did bury one other lead, and that's because as exciting as this is, it's like, I don't know, 8 months from happening if it happens. So I didn't want to like lead with this, but Matt did talk about the idea of multicolored summoners. The ones they showed us are 4-cost summoners with no ability, so they don't give you any kind of boost, but give you access to 2 teams. That is pretty ridiculous. You know, white with green, add all those healers to the white team, who, you know, they have their own healers, but they don't have the healers of green. Or maybe the death team can actually team with teams that have a healer card. Oh my gosh, that would be pretty wild, right? Just pop out a regular healing card. Now, that would definitely be something that'd be interesting for the game. Summoner abilities are so powerful that a 4-cost summoner with no summoner ability that lets you get 2 teams would have to unlock some pretty potent combos to, say, beat a Lily, or beat in Wild, beat a Kitty, or beat a Yasik, or beat a Llama even. So while they're keeping them rare and 4 costs and no buffs, they sound like they would be fun, but I don't know if they would be overpowering. They definitely could throw out some teams that you weren't ready for, and it would make the variations. And the one thing it might do is drive the bots absolutely crazy, because there'd be some wild variations of teams created, and I think that's kind of fun. But I don't know if they'd really be, if you'd really pick a 4-cost summoner over a Yasik, or over a Wraith, or over, you know, one of those legendary summoners. It's going to be kind of interesting. And would you even pick it over, say, Kelia? It's like, does the combo with blue with another team kind of replace a Kelia or a Lux? I don't see it right away at that 4 cost. But you know what? It's one of those things that would take a long time to figure out. They did talk about the reward changes and the big focus on new player experience. One of the other things in the rating thing that I didn't talk about that much is that Novice isn't going to be for players anymore. It's only going to be for some bots run by Splinterlands and brand new players. And once they fight their way out of Novice, they'll only be fighting either bots or other brand new players. They're going to then get into Bronze 3, and they're going to stay there. They also talked about, once they're in Bronze 3, being able to be taken to the Nifty site to be able to get a Bronze deck. And I'll just really quickly here, we'll fly over to the Nifty site, because they put a tweet out about this today. And everybody should know that if you want to bring a new player into the game right now, you can bring them straight over here to Nifty Gateway, and they can click here and get a complete Bronze Nifty Chaos deck to play with. So they're not going to be have to go to the rental market. They can play for absolutely free. They can earn half of their rewards just to see if they like the game in Bronze. And I know Nifty is going to have Nifty Silver decks as well. Those might be a little bit more competitive, but as you can see, these Bronze decks are sitting here. So if you've ever had those people who are on the fence, who don't believe that you can come and play this game and earn for free, it might be time to tell them to get over here, try it out, play the game, convince them to maybe make a post about one of their battles during this week's battle challenge. And once they maybe earn 10, 20 bucks for their post, start earning crypto for the game. If they're the type of person who is already into collectibles, they might get, they might just be hooked, right? Yeah, Jamar, we follow Agile in my company too. It's a great way to get a lot more work done. But yeah, I mean, this is not one deck anymore that's available. Look, this is a full page. You can bring 20 or 30 people into this game right now. All of these Bronze decks are sitting here waiting for them. So get them here, get them hooked, bring them to Nifty, and introduce them to the Nifty community. They're a very nice Discord. They'll help out for sure. We already talked about season rentals. We did find out one exciting thing that Matt talked about was a replacement for the ECR system, and it looks like Splinterlands is going to embrace the play to earn model. And I think this is one of the other things that was hidden behind the move to soulbound rewards cards. So you want to burn DEC to play the game more and earn more chests so you get more soulbound rewards cards? Go right ahead, sir. Burn as much DEC as you want, to an extent, because they understand that bots would be able to go 24/7, and there's going to be different costs depending on which chests you are earning and which league you are in. They're not particularly probably going to want to let you recharge your ECR. You might be able to do little tricks, guys, when this is out, and like little abuses of the system. If you're about to move into gold from silver, pay that lower DEC and max out your ECR again, and then move up. But we'll have to see if they prevent that kind of thing, and maybe won't let you buy when you're one battle away from moving to another league. Yeah, it's a good time to be a new player, but you're right, Jabby. It will take a little while for the new player experience to get better. Right now, there's still a lot of hand-holding. They need players like us to bring them in, get them into Nifty, get that deck delegated to them. Maybe even if you're a big Hive holder, delegate them a little Hive, because that way they never run into an RC issue where Splinterlands doesn't give them to them quick enough. But it's going to be nice to have people able to play this game and have, I think the 1 energy per battle is going to be fun. And the other thing that's going to be really cool about it is he said that basically if you have an energy for the battle, you're going to earn the same RC points per battle every single time. And so that means that like when I have time to come and play the game, I can just play it 20 times and not worry about the fact that I pushed my ECR down so low that I want to stop. I can just keep playing until I'm all out of energy, and then I can move on. And every single battle I won, I'm fine. And if I really want to now, I'll be able to pay for more energy. So they said they're going to make sure there's no room for exploits until we see the post for how this works. Again, coming in the next week or two, we're not going to know. But I like this system better. And really, games like Splinterlands, if we're going to soulbound rewards cards, and we can afford for people to pay to earn them faster, let people pay to earn them faster, because all that DEC burn is good for us as a community, because once DEC hits peg, SPS will start to get burned by bots every time DEC gets high enough over peg. I haven't heard that, Techie, if you can only play 50 matches per day. But it seemed like it like the screenshot we saw, if we see it below, we don't know if that's there, but I like the idea of simpler, and I do like the idea if you can only buy it once a day, like Cimarron is saying. Nothing is finalized. We have to wait till it comes out, but still, the idea that people will be able to pay DEC to play more every single day. I mean, I know I might be doing that. I don't know about you guys, but it depends on the price, but more chests, more chests, more chests, more rewards, more gold foils, maybe. We'll have to see. The only quick way I can see to exploit, guys, is he did mention it would cost different depending on what league you're in. And that's if you fill up when it's cheaper and then move up to the next league. Because since it's 1 point for a battle in every league, that's definitely a little trick. I don't see how else you can exploit that. If you can only do 50 battles, then you run out. You can only buy a refill one time, so you can only do 100 battles in a day max. That's all you could do. But I was thinking that it's not really 50 battles per day, and I'll show you if they have the picture, Cimarron. I think you're a little bit wrong there. He did talk about, he does think that they are on target for land phase 1 at the end of the quarter, where we're going to be able to survey our lands and do our buildings in a box, our time crystals, and our unstable totems if we want. So they do think that will be out here in just a few months. That is pretty crazy. They did talk about DECB. We only have about a month more of being able to buy that. So if you're going to get that for your land, you need to get it. They're expecting land 1.5 to come out in quarter 2. So you do have time to get your card workers until quarter 2 of the year to get all your cards to work on your land, and I'm going to have to start focusing on that. Now that Matt told me that I don't need summoners, that means I can be maybe selling some of my summoners or targeting other cards. I'll have to be deciding on that. he went over, like I told you at the beginning, the 5 workers per land. You'll want max level cards that you're going to be harvesting resources. White paper will be released shortly. They're hoping for older editions. Gold foil cards will get more. Roonies are going to get crazy bonuses. If you guys don't own a Rooney and you're capable of getting a Rooney, you might want a Rooney. Sloan is going to be 10 cents. Blue Devil. Yeah, when he said summoners were not needed, I felt bad for all the Sloans I bought in my life. I'm not going to lie, guys. But at least they weren't that expensive. He did say Gladiator and Soulbound cards, there's no reason they wouldn't be able to work on land. But he has a feeling they'll be more valuable in battles. And I think unless you're not going to be battling anymore, that's going to be true. Especially because, like, I'm not going to say I'm in the best guild in the world, but we're a tier 4 brawling guild. We've always been in tier 3, went up to tier 4 as soon as they did the changes. And I don't have close to max level gladiators. It's going to take a year probably before you start having max level soulbound cards. And then you're going to take that card and go work the land with it. It doesn't seem like that makes a lot of sense. But he said that it would be possible. Renting land or renting for monsters, he did say that they wanted to have that working, but they weren't sure it would be available in the beginning. So eventually, so we are going to have a little period of time where you can't rent cards to work on the land. You're going to have to own them. And so it's going to take a real commitment for people to have ownership to work the land of their stuff. And so that's going to be pretty interesting. We also kind of understood that when we first start working the land, it seems like we might be farming SPS and not resources, which is kind of interesting. So we'll have to see how that all works when the posts come out. Also, they backed off of guild alliances and instead said for Q2 they want to do guild updates. So we might have some new buildings coming to the guilds. They might be replacing the quest lodge with something else. If they do that, that would be kind of interesting, but I understand why. Quest lodge doesn't really make sense anymore because we don't quest like we used to. So it's a very different process nowadays. He talked about making them bigger, having new buildings. One of these buildings having the ability for you to stake cards into it that would increase the production of your land. So now you might have entire guilds that form just because they are landowners. It's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be pretty wild. Marketing, something buried in all of this is Chatter has partnerships with the Exodus Wallet team, so that we're going to have advertisements come up inside the Exodus wallet to come play Splinterlands. That partnership is kind of big because I do know that, like, when I'm on a crypto site and I see an advertisement for another crypto project, if I trust the site or the wallet I'm using, I might go check that project out. And if you have an Exodus wallet, then you probably have some crypto. So it's a crypto user. They should be a good target audience for sure. I think that's even better than the Brave browser as far as target audience of people who actually own crypto and might know about NFTs and want to get into the game. GameSpace says that that the tournaments that that they run, they have over 2,000 new signups and over 100,000 unique viewers. So he did a partnership with them. So he has the 2 big partnerships with hopefully just to get more eyes on the site and on the game. And it's at a time when it's a really good time for new players to come into the game and earn these new Soulbound rewards cards. It is a lot of fun to open up this many cool cards. Even if they're Soulbound, it's still a cool, fun feeling. Yeah, Bob Carl, you might be right about land. Once I do a surveying of all my land, could I want to sell some of my land because I have 200 of them? And once I survey them, could I want to sell some to help me get money to fund some of the other lands? It's possible. I don't know about dump, though. Landholders have been holding their land for a very long time. They have seen $800 prices for land, and I don't know if they're immediately going to want to start selling them for even cheaper than they are today. I just don't know. But a surveyed common land should be cheaper than a plot. So if we don't see plot prices move, and they've moved a little, but if they're not up in the $200, $300, or $400 range, because they're kind of a lottery ticket for any land, a common land is definitely less than the lottery ticket whose worst result is a common land, right? So we know that. Brawlhalla Weirdbeard was really quick because they were running out of time. Then we got a little bit of eye candy here. Here's those dual colored summoners. So you have death with red and death with blue. So that's kind of interesting for death. You had blue with white, green with red, and maybe out there they had all of the teams. I wonder who would have won this battle. This is a very, very interesting battle. It's hard to even comprehend. You got Last Stand here, Last Stand here, Last Stand here. You got Blasting Magic here. You both have this. This guy can't take damage from Blast. I don't know. This guy right here, he's slow, but he's going to be targeting this guy. And if this is the first one down over here, they lose a Resurrect. Oh, wait. No, wait. This guy has a taunt. I forgot about that. I don't know, guys. It's hard to see. Here's the battle screen. And you see, you do a 3 out of 50. And the reason why I said you were a little bit wrong is because we don't know what this is going to be. Next energy point in XXX. So until we know how fast this refills, it might be that when you first join the game, you start at 50, but you only charge back 20 per day. Or 24 per day or 25 per day. Because what if you only get one every hour? Like it says here, see? Rate of 1 energy point per hour. So that would mean you would only recharge 24 of these points in a day. So you'd start out with 50, and then the first day if you paid 24 and then you came back tomorrow at the same time, you'd be full again. And then if you played it down to like 20, then when you came back the next day at the same time, you'd only be up to 44. And then you could play another like 30 matches, and then when you came back, and eventually you'd hit 0 and come back the next day and only have 24. So, okay, I might have missed part of your comment. I have kind of been on my soapbox here for a little bit, going over the town hall. And then we got a picture. They keep showing these. They're just working on a lot of different ways for you to be able to view the land. The idea here is like you take away this pretty background and you go, okay, just show me the color that corresponds to each type of land. That way you kind of can see just like, okay, this stuff is my desert plots. These are my this is my that. And it would just be a different way to view a region so that you can, really it's a land management tools that they're building. I don't know who's winning these votes. I didn't go vote. Did you guys vote? Let's see. I hope people voted for A2. That's what I would have voted for. For these ones, probably B6, like the lightning bolts. For these are the unstable totems. They should be unstable looking, right? And they should be totem looking. So this one maybe, C5? I wonder what's winning. I'm going to need to go check. You had to vote in the Discord. I don't know if the voting is still going on. So what these are images. This is the building in a box. So if I want to add this when I'm surveying, they're either going to have this image, you get a building right away, or you get a building in a box, like they said. And then these ones here, I think if we want to, here, I'll go find it for you guys. Let's go see what's winning on these votes. Gotta go to the Splinterlands Discord. This is going to take a minute because I wasn't in there right now. And I'm in far too many of these. And then if we go to the town hall chat, and I saw Jim was here. Hello, Jim. Shout out to the alpha gamer in the crowd out there talking to all of you. Go to town hall chat, and they said it would be in pinned messages. So let's jump and let's bring this in. So it seems like at this point, 5 ran away with it. No, 6, the one I said that was exploding, won this one. Then if we go to pin messages, oh, did they not pin all of them? Well, okay, here's A1 versus A2, 2-1. That's the one I would have voted for. I'll go ahead and vote for them. I don't know if they're still counting votes. And then for this one, I think this one, which was 5. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, people don't like that. People want 6. 6 is the other one that's kind of exploding. So it looks like that's going to win. I'm still going to vote for the one I like, but it looks like 6 is going to win. They're basically letting the interactive town hall people go ahead and vote for these. So it looks like they voted for this one. Again, at least it's exploding. They like this white one. For me, that's too pretty looking for something that's supposed to be an unstable totem, right? It's going to explode in 30 days. It should be this one. All right. And let me see. Was there anything else? I didn't mean to close out the town hall. Anything else to mention? The eye candy is usually the end. We got a little look at the borderline with the dual summoners. And that's really it. So that's all for the town hall portion of the show.